Hey everybody, my name is Mike. I am not for Coltrane. Welcome to the Coltrane Tuesdays show for this, the 10th day of August in the year 2020. And I am realizing that when the door opened and I did the thing over on Facebook a minute ago, I forgot to put something back where I needed it to be over here where you can't see it. But now that I've just called attention to it, pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. So yes, we have a show today. It is a Stump the Band do-over, and not just a Stump the Band do-over, it is a genre-bent Stump the Band do-over for a song that was requested recently as part of the Not for Coltrane Stump the Band game. What is the Not for Coltrane Stump the Band game? I am glad you asked. Let me explain that. I should also make sure that the thing is going out online, which appears to be, if anyone is in fact watching live right now and can say, hey, yes, the audio and the video are working, that's always helpful for me to know, because it's not always immediately obvious to me whether that is in fact happening. So yes, how do you play the Not for Coltrane Stump the Band game? What is this thing? Let me explain. When people are live online with us as part of the Coltrane Tuesdays live stream that happens every Tuesday at 12:30 in the afternoon, people give me song suggestions and I have to respond to them in some manner. If the song that's requested is one that I know, I will go ahead and play it. If the song that's requested is one that I kind of sort of know, then I will try to figure out how to play it as well as I can on just there. And if I do not recognize the song at all that was requested, I have to make up a brand new song right here on the spot with the same name as the song that was requested, thereby technically satisfying the requirement. That is how we play the Not for Coltrane Stump the Band game. And so first off, so for today's Not for Coltrane Stump the Band game, it would be great if people could get in. Whoop. Oh, okay. So we've got issues with the connection, and it's going in and out, and people may or may not be able to see me. So, good. We're going to add to the challenges here. I think I'm back online, and I'm not going to go through the whole bit about what the Not for Coltrane Stump the Band game is. I will say it again in just a little bit in the show. I have no idea if people heard that part or not. But I am going to say that this was a recent request as part of the Not for Coltrane Stump the Band game. And so we're going to revisit that. We're going to play a new round of the Not for Coltrane Stump the Band game, so people should definitely get in their suggestions for that. And we'll do a special bit at the end of the show with a song inspired by a show that I saw last night in person over at Music Fest here in Bethlehem, PA. So, yes, things are not all going exactly the way they're supposed to at the moment, but hey, we're gonna make it work. It's still telling me that the connection that I have to the internet is poor, and I don't really have any way to fix that. So I'm gonna talk here for a moment until YouTube finally says, hey, yes, things are fine. Things are just fine. We're not having a problem anymore. All right, so the song that came up was a couple weeks ago. The song is Sk8er Boi, with a little 8 in the Sk8er, by Avril Lavigne, of course. It is a song that I kind of sort of knew, like I had some basic idea that the rhyme scheme that introduced the chorus was he was a skater boy, she said see you later boy, and I had no idea basically how the rest of it went. And so we're going to try to put this together, but as you can see, I'm not playing something that's going to be in the style of. I decided to just go in a completely different direction. Staying hydrated is always important. And if this wasn't ridiculous enough, we're going to add some more. Let's see. YouTube is being weird. I'm just going to continue to sit here for a moment while we see if the stream can get reconnected, because I don't know exactly what's going to happen. So, I think what's happening is the internet is, or the connection with YouTube is going in and out. I don't know really why, but I'm also trying to avoid that happening just in the middle of the song. I think what's happened at this point is that there's just a real lag in the video. It's probably freezing for all of you for a little bit and then catching up. But I don't really know. It's difficult to tell because as far as I can tell, my internet connection is just fine. But but yes, in fact, my computer is saying that it hasn't had any interruptions in sending audio and video over to you. Oh, let me see if the audio is still functioning. Yeah, the audio looks like it's still functioning. And yeah, so I don't. Oh, great. Yeah, this is great. This is excellent. So yes, this is exactly what you want when you're performing music, is for for the stream to be lagging and then have difficulty catching up. But seeing as there's not a whole lot else I can do, my connection with my own router here at the house is about as strong as it possibly can be, and I don't know what else is going on. There shouldn't be anybody else in the house who's using my internet, so I don't know why. All right. So I'm still here. I'm still here, sort of. YouTube has decided it may not, in fact, be here, but we're gonna see how this goes. Oh, good. YouTube just continues to lock up and freeze, and bits and things are not happening. All right, so thanks for everybody's patience, and I hope whatever is happening or not happening, we're just gonna power on through. So as I was saying, this was not ideal, but you know, hey, Sk8er Boi, hey, Avril Lavigne. Oh yeah, how's the song start? All right. He was a boy, she was a girl. Can I make it any more obvious? He was a punk, she did ballet. What more can I say? He wanted her, she'd never tell. Secretly she wanted him as well. None of her friends stuck up their nose. They had a problem with his baggy clothes. He was a Sk8er Boi, she said see you later boy. He wasn't good enough for her. She had a pretty face, but her head was up in space. She needed to come back down to earth. 5 years from now, she sits at home, feeding the baby, she's all alone. He's on TV, guess who she sees? Sk8er Boi rocking up MTV. She calls up her friends, they already know. They've all got tickets to see his show. She tags along, stands in the crowd, looks up at the man that she turned down. He was a Sk8er Boi, she said see you later boy. He wasn't good enough for her. Now he's a superstar, slamming on his guitar. Views your pretty face, see what he's worth. He was a Sk8er Boi, she said see you later boy. She wasn't good enough for her. Now he's a superstar, slamming on his guitar. Does your pretty face see what he's worth? Sorry girl, but you missed out. Well, tough luck, that boy's mine now. We are more than just good friends. This is how the story ends. Too bad that you couldn't see the man that boy could be. There is more than meets the eye. I see the soul that is inside. He's just a boy, and I'm just a girl. can I make it any more obvious? We are in love, haven't you heard how we rock each other's world? I'm with the Sk8er Boi, said see you later boy, see you backstage after the show. I'll be at the studio singing the song we wrote about a girl you used to know. I'm with the Sk8er Boi, said see you later boy, I'll be backstage after the show. I'll be at the studio singing the song we wrote about a girl you used to know. There you go. So, this is, yes, the technical difficulties being rather challenging today. I have no idea what is happening in the space between my computer and YouTube that has been causing it to lock up. And, but yeah, it seems to be more or less functioning okay at this point. So let me talk about the Avril Lavigne tune for just a moment. Sk8er Boi, of course, being a pretty, probably her best known song. Decided that the best way for me to be able to do that was to just go in sort of a completely different direction from her. I've got to say there are interesting things about the song in terms of how the chords are. I think it actually has a key change, a subtle key change between the verses and the choruses, which is kind of cool. It's interesting. It's not a sort of a standard chord progression in the verses in the first place. Lyrically, well, obviously it's sort of a sense of where it's speaking for all of the kids who felt left out or put down or shunned by the popular kids, and then hey, here's how the tables got turned. I gotta say, I kind of want a redemption arc for the girl who who, like a lot of us, had weak moments in high school or whatever and didn't do the right upstanding thing. The idea that she's now somehow punished by being a single mother, that seems a little weird. But the thing that really got me, thank you very much, Tom Cooney Music being online with us. Hi Tom, thanks for hanging out, Tom. Tom, of course, has his own webcast on Tuesday afternoons called 3+ Songs for Prometheus. Tom Cooney Music, you can click on his username over there and find out his webpage, so you can, or his YouTube page, so you can see what he's doing later today. Yeah, so Sk8er Boi, the thing that didn't occur to me until like a day or two after I started working on the lyrics and getting them down. If you've got a guy who's apparently a superstar and like at the height of his fame, and he's got this amazing girlfriend, and the two of them rock each other's world, and he's still hung up on a girl he had a crush on in high school, like 5 years earlier, who and the girlfriend, the current girlfriend, is also like invested in telling off of this other girl that he had a crush on 5 years ago. Like, you've already won. You don't, why are you even thinking about this person? And the fact that this person from the boy's past is still so present in their mind, it doesn't seem like there could be some rocks and shoals in that current relationship if this past snubbing is figuring so prominently in their minds in the present day. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, so yes, so that was an attempt at Sk8er Boi by Avril Lavigne. Thanks very much to the requester who made that request a couple weeks ago. I did not think to look up who it was. I apologize. So we're gonna get started all over again and do a new round of the Not for Coltrane Stump the Band game. Now that it seems like YouTube and my computer have found a way to make nice with each other and are not hanging up and lagging and causing all those problems like they were before. So how do we play the Not for Coltrane Stump the Band game? In case this didn't go through at the beginning of the show, maybe you're just tuning in. Maybe you didn't get a chance to see it earlier. The way we play the Not for Coltrane Stump the Band game is that people who are live online with us give me song suggestions, and I have to respond to them. If the song that's requested is one that I know, I won't have rehearsed it. I might flub some lyrics or some chords, but I should be able to play it reasonably decently if it is a song that I know. If the song that's requested is one that I kind of sort of know, like Sk8er Boi, like I knew a tiny little piece of it, but I don't really know the whole thing, I will then have to figure out a way to play some version of it here in this moment, here in front of you. If I don't recognize the song title at all, I have to make up a brand new song right here on the spot with the same name as the song that was suggested, thereby technically satisfying the requirement. That's how we play the Not for Coltrane Stump the Band game. Get your requests in now, and while you are doing that, I'll tell you about another thing or two that are happening in our neck of the woods. Many of you know, if you're watching this from here in Pennsylvania's Lehigh Valley or the surrounding areas, you have probably heard of Music Fest. Musikfest. It is a giant music festival, as you might imagine, based loosely on a sort of a German beer festival, which is why it's spelled differently. Yay, Pennsylvania German heritage. Music Fest is enormous. It is 10 days of so many stages of free music right here in Bethlehem, PA, which is really pretty cool. There are some ticketed shows. The headline our shows are ticketed, but there are just a bounty, an abundance of free shows. You can just wander around the north side of town or the south side of town and go check out all of this free music, which is very, very cool. There are so many wonderful performers who are playing. I can't possibly mention all of them or we'd be here all day, but I will mention that this coming Sunday, so Sunday, I believe that is the 13th. Is that the 13th of August? That would be the 13th is Friday, the 15th. The 15th is Sunday. So this Sunday, the 15th of August, I am going to be the MC at the Liederplatz stage. That is the one over in the Sun Inn Courtyard just off of Main Street here in Bethlehem. The Liederplatz stage on Sunday, and this is going to be Godfrey Daniels Day at Music Fest. I talk often here about Godfrey Daniels, a wonderful, wonderful performance venue here in Bethlehem, PA. There's been this great collaboration between Music Fest and Godfrey Daniels for many, many years, and Godfrey Daniels puts together the lineup of performance for the Liederplatz stage on the last Sunday of Music Fest each year. This time around, let me see if oh yes, I do have it here. So I will be the MC, and the performers will be Piper's Request, Pyranesia, Alex Radis Trio, Jack Murray and the Blue Tarp Wranglers, as well as the Alexis P. Suter Band. So a great day of music over at the Liederplatz stage this coming Sunday at Music Fest. If you've never been, plan a time for finding parking, or plan to spend at least $5 or $10. Supporting either a local business or a local church or something like that by parking in their parking lot and then walking the rest of the way to the festival. And then just check out some free music. There's lots of great food from vendors. There are lots of great musicians. Many of them are local here in the Lehigh Valley. Even the ones who aren't local, they're people who haven't hit the big time, who are touring out of vans and smaller cars. And making it work and making a go of it, and a lot of really, really, really talented people who definitely deserve your support. So go check out Music Fest, learn more at musicfest.org, check out the schedules, find some of your favorite performers, or really just wander around and check out the free music and see what strikes your ear. So yes, so now that I've been talking about that, I do not believe that we have received any requests yet for the Not for Coltrane Stump the Band game, so I will pull out a request that had been submitted ahead of time. This past Thursday, I was over at the Bethlehem Farmers Market over at Lehigh University, and that was my first in-person show since the before times. Let's see. So I don't know what is on any of these cards, although I do believe that this one particular slip of paper was inserted by the one and only Dave Fry. Let's see. All right. I wasn't even sure, since this was, Dave grabbed another slip of some other kind of paper. I wasn't even 100% sure this was a song request, but it is in fact a song request. It is I believe this is a John Hartford song, In Tall Buildings. I don't know that there's a way to hold it up so that people can actually see it. Let's see, there it is. In Tall Buildings. Request by Dave Fry. I definitely do not know the song Oh, okay. So now I see there's a request from Tom Cooney Music, and I'm sorry I didn't didn't see that in time, Tom. I'm let's see. Any tune by a contemporary slash current female alt folk alt rock artist. If not any tune by one of your favorite female artists, that is a good idea. You know what? What I'm gonna do with that? I have a special request show. I may take Tom's special request section in suggestion into account for that. I'm at the moment going to respond to Dave Fry's request for In Tall Buildings. What am I going to say about In Tall Buildings? I haven't really listened to enough of John Hartford to be able to emulate his style with any sort of specificity, but it's going to be something that's sort of vaguely folky, vaguely country, probably a standard chord progression. It's going to be In Tall Buildings. In Tall Buildings. I don't even really. Oh, let's see. So even let's come up with sort of a feel for the song. In Tall Buildings. What's going to be in tall buildings? Sort of probably the speaking of isolation and ennui of people being separated from each other, being sort of stacked on top of each other, and yet not really knowing each other. So that seems like a pretty standard, straightforward way to do that. No, that's not. All right, I think I have a basic idea worked out. Let's see how this goes. I live on the 19th floor, so much life outside my door that I don't know about. People rushing on their way, passing by me every day. There's no doubt. When will I come to understand where there might be some kind of plan in tall buildings? From my window looking down, see scurry around this town every day. All these people I can't see what they have to do with me in any way. And I feel so all alone. from my 19th floor home in tall buildings. That I won't know how it is that I should go from this place. I think someday find a way, faith to come again someday from outer space. If that only we could see. Not so much space between you and me, here in tall buildings, here in tall buildings, here in tall buildings, tall buildings. That might be a first for me. When I improvised a song that had a nested rhyme scheme, a rhyme scheme that went A, A, B, C, C, B. Yeah, so surprisingly coherent. Like that could be an actual song. So I guess when you start with the good prompt, that makes it a little easier to come up with something worthwhile. So there you go. Thanks very much to Dave Fry for that request for In Tall Buildings. And you know, I said we were going to wrap up today with something a little bit different, and in fact, this now it occurs to me that this ties in with Tom Cooney's request for a song by a contemporary / current female alt folk or alt rock artist, because I can mention someone that came up on this webcast in just a couple weeks ago. I did a song by Head Eye, which is sung by Jenny Founds of the band Ruby Deer, as well as the band Start Making Sense. Jenny is a tremendous songwriter. I'm going to try not to gush too much because then that would be creepy, but I will say that so Start Making Sense is a tribute act to of course the Talking Heads, hugely influential Talking Heads. And one of the other cool things about Start Making Sense, so many really top-notch musicians from here in and around the Lehigh Valley have at one point or another been associated or performed with this band. So it's just a lot of really cool people and a lot of really wonderful musicians. They do a great show with the Talking Heads, and three of the core members of Start Making Sense also have another band called Ruby Deer. That is fronted by Jenny Founds, who sings backup with Start Making Sense. She's the front person and primary songwriter for Ruby Deer. They do lots of really, really cool music. They have a show coming up. Ruby Deer is doing a show at, it's coming up at the Funhouse here in Bethlehem, PA on the 21st of, hey, Dave Fry, thank you so much for checking out the show, Dave. I appreciate that. Ruby Deer is going to be at the Funhouse right next to Godfrey Daniels in Southside Bethlehem, PA on the 21st of August. That is a Saturday. They are playing 2 full Jane's Addiction albums. So that should be a lot of fun. There's a cover for the show. I'll post a link to it afterwards, but if you search up Ruby Deer Band either online or on the socials, you should be able to find the band Ruby Deer and the things that they're posting about that. last night, Start Making Sense was over at Music Fest as well. This time not playing Talking Heads. This time they played the entirety of the Tom Petty album, Wildflowers. And they mentioned that this was a formative musical experience, experiencing this album when it came out in, I think it was 1994. Is that what, something like that? 1994, copyright 1994. When this album came out, that was also I was quite young at that point, but it was also one of my formative musical experiences. This actually, manufactured for BMG Direct Marketing Incorporated. So yeah, that's how I ended up with this. And so Start Making Sense, doing something a little bit different from them, not a Talking Heads show, but a Tom Petty tribute show last night. Really, really very cool show, and like I say, meant a lot to me, since it was an album that had been important in my musical formation. And in fact, little known detail about me that folks who are musicians might wonder why I use an acoustic guitar with a cutaway. A traditional acoustic guitar comes up like this, and this has a cutaway that's a little bit more like an electric guitar, which makes it easier to play guitar solos. You've probably never seen me play a guitar solo, and there's probably a good reason for that. I am working on it, but the reason that my very first guitar had a cutaway like this was because I wanted to play my own version of Wildflowers, which I play super high up on the neck, right here. So of course, that is the lead track on the Wildflowers album. Start Making Sense played it last night, but it inspired me to dust off my version of this song, which of course was, rather influential to me in my musical formation. The way that I play it is probably not all that faithful to the album, but it's the way I've been playing it for 20 years, and I think it does capture a little bit of the essence. So here we go. Thanks again to Start Making Sense for inspiring this. As Tom said, you should check out all sorts of contemporary and current female folk and alt rock artists, including Ruby Deer, as fronted by Jenny Founds. This is Wildflowers by Tom Petty. You belong among the wildflowers. You belong in a boat out at sea. Sail away, roll off the hours. You belong somewhere you feel free. Sail away, go find a lover. Run away, somewhere all bright and new. I have seen no other who compares with you. You belong among the wildflowers. You belong somewhere bright and new. You belong with your love on your arm. You belong somewhere you feel free. Run away, go find a lover. Run away, let your heart be your guide. You deserve the deepest of cover. You belong in that home by and by. You belong among the wildflowers. You belong somewhere close to me. Wildflowers by Tom Petty. Thanks again to Start Making Sense for inspiring me to dust off that particular song. I don't think I got all the lyrics right, but that is okay. Of course, check out Start Making Sense online. I'll post a link in the description as soon as we're done here. They're going on tour. They don't have a whole lot of local shows coming up in the immediate future, but you should see 3 of the core members of Start Making Sense performing as Ruby Deer over at the Funhouse coming up on the 18th. No, excuse me, not the 18th. You should see them on the 21st. August 8th, August is the 8th month. That's what I keep throwing up. August 21st, Ruby Deer playing songs of Jane's Addiction as well as a full Ruby Deer set over at the Funhouse in South Bethlehem. And I apparently need to go take a nap or something. So again, thanks to Ruby Deer and Start Making Sense for inspiring me to dust off that song. Thanks very much, Dave Fry, for watching and for requesting the song In Tall Buildings. I'll post a link to the actual rendition of that song afterwards. Thanks to all of you, everyone who is watching this either live or on the replay. Please go out and support all of the local musicians that you can find, because there are a lot of really cool people out there doing cool things. And so I'll be right back here next week, 12:30 in the afternoon for your Coltrane Tuesdays. And until then, my name is Mike. I am not for Coltrane. Please take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. I'll see you here then.